Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Will from DFS Army. Going to be going over the May 6th Saturday MLB Prize Picks slate. Going to be giving you guys 4 picks today. The first one is going to be Bobby Witt of the Royals, taking the over on his 8.5 fantasy score. This game is going to be in Kansas City, Kauffman Stadium, and this is actually the highest. The Royals have the highest run total of the slate. It is at 5.5. Take a look here on DraftKings Sportsbook. The Royals team total runs right here. 5.5 is plus 100. That is the highest one of the slate currently, as of the time that I'm recording this. And we took a look at Bobby Witt himself. So Witt, his hits, runs, and RBIs line is sitting at 2.5, and it's minus 110 on the over. Pretty much an even line here, and you usually don't see these for players in other stadiums than Coors or that game in Mexico City. So this is a tremendous, just a very great line here. When you look at the Prizepicks line of fantasy score, considering that he has massive stolen base upside, he basically is just a player that does it all. Bobby Witt's stolen base odds, it's plus 165 for the over, which is really insane because you have to consider, they have to get on base, usually get on first base, and then that's how they have the opportunity to steal second, and no one ahead of them. It's kind of crazy to see a stolen base line that the odds are just this juiced, or not. Obviously, under still favored, but for the over, you typically don't see something like this. And for the weather, which is a big part of why this game it has a high total, 89 degrees. And then when you look at the game time, it's going to be 90 plus, and then the winds are 14 miles blowing out. So that is pretty much the perfect hitting conditions that you want when you're taking over for hitters. And then the matchup, taking on the A's, Ken Waldichuk. This guy is not good at all. I mean, his numbers, sure, there's some red in there, but all this stuff, like he's been poor, especially against righties. You look at his splits, allowed 9 homers already to righties on the year. His whip is at 1.74, which that's really bad. And then remember, he's an Oakland pitcher, so he's going to be pitching away now. Their ballpark, their home park, it always protects their pitchers just because it's so pitcher friendly. And you can see that in his splits this season. Now, only a 1 month sample, but this is what you're going to expect out of ace pitchers. They're not going to be good on the road just because everywhere they go, it's going to be a ballpark downgrade for them. And then you look at his pitches, he's pretty much just throwing fastballs every time. Bobby Witt, 100 percentile sprint speed, explains the stolen base odds. And he actually received a day off on Friday, so he's well rested for this game. He hasn't been hitting the fastball well, which that's kind of odd because usually you see players have really good numbers against the fastball, but not something that I'm going to be too concerned about just because the odds already have built that in. And you look at Wolochek's fastball, it's actually his worst pitch, so that's certainly something that you love to see when you're considering an over on the opposing side. And then the last point is that Oakland, their bullpen has the highest ERA, so one of the worst bullpens in the league, and pretty much overall, they are one of the worst teams in the league. So, really like this one. Should be batting lead off against a lefty platoon advantage. Just a tremendous spot. And then the next one, you can stack this mini stack. There's gonna be Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado, both on the more. Taking on the Detroit Tigers in this one. Cardinals, they also do have a very solid run total here. Over 4.5 is at minus 135. And then for their Vegas lines, hits, runs, and RBIs, Arenado, Goldschmidt right here. Arenado minus 150 on the over 1.5. Goldschmidt is a 160. So both of those look really good. Now, Goldschmidt's line, he has been the better player. Walks also a lot better for his odds, and he actually does have some stolen base upside. Now the odds are not going to show that, obviously plus 1100. That's not great, but he does have that. He actually he runs really well for someone for his position and his size. And then you look at the matchup. So it's taking on the Tigers. It's going to be Spencer Turnbull who is starting, and I do prefer Goldie over Arenado just because of well, Goldie, he's been the better player. And the matchup, so Spencer Turnbull, his numbers are not great, and really expected ERA shows that he's just been not great, and his K rate has dropped significantly this season. Still, we have to treat this kind of with a grain of salt just because it's still early on in the season. But Turnbull, his splits, he's a lot power to lefties more, but um, previously, like, it's not significant, so I'm perfectly fine with attacking him with righties. And you look at the pitches he throws: fastball, slider, sinker, what he does for righties. And then Paul Goldschmidt, his numbers, you look at these rankings, he looks tremendous against anyone, really. And all this red, that's what you want to see. Expected batting average, like, that is insane. Hard hit rate, look at Spencer Turnbull, hard hit percentage, kind of middle of the pack, and then doesn't K anyone, walks a ton, so that's good. And expected batting average, right? That matches up with what Goldie does. He's going to get on base, probably get some hits. And then he pretty much doesn't have a weakness against any pitch. So, there you go. And then Arenado. So his numbers, they actually don't look that great so far this year. But there's been years of data about how great this guy is, even when he's been away from Coors. So I'm really not concerned about this guy as of now. And he is also 6.5. That might be the lowest line that we've gotten him all season, and it just works well for a stack. Typically, they're going to be hitting second and fourth or somewhere like that. Like someone like Nolan Gorman or Wilson Contreras could bat between them, but it's a good stack. Tigers, not a great team. So very good lines. Usually we don't see them this low, especially in a good matchup. And then the final play, we're going to go with an under. That's going to be Jorge Polanco under 7 against Cleveland. Jorge Polanco, he is taking on Logan Allen. He's a young pitcher. He's actually got great stuff. His numbers actually look tremendous. And Polanco, he's a good hitter, but there are a lot of reasons why I do like this under. So, one, Logan Allen, small sample, pretty much with everyone, but especially with a rookie. So 2 starts, he's had really good stuff. Now, the Red Sox, that's really good to see. They got 8Ks. Marlins, a good matchup for lefties. So the Twins, though, they're actually pretty similar. You look at their K rate, because they have guys like Byron Buxton, Joey Gallo, the Twins right there, right? K rate very high. And batting average is insanely low. That's actually the worst. So for Jorge Polanco, he's a switch hitter, so he will be facing Logan Allen as a right-handed batter. And taking a look at how he does for his left-handed pitchers, so this is last year, he had about half the amount of at-bats, but his homers, like, that is significantly less. His numbers indicate he just doesn't have the same amount of power. And you look at over the years, he wasn't as bad as a right-handed batter in previous seasons, as you can see, but it just tells you that he's not as good when he's facing on a left-handed pitcher. And another thing is when he takes on lefties, the Twins bat him 6th. Not all the time, but he has, and that's obviously a tremendous downgrade when he's usually batting 2nd or 3rd. So lower in the order, you're not going to have probably 1 less at bat, and then also your opportunities are not going to be as great because you're not hitting around their best hitters in Correa and Buxton. So and Kepler, but not Kepler because it's a lefty, but when they're facing a righty, though, Kepler does bat up there. And then for the ballpark, Cleveland, the Progressive Field is a better park for lefties because the park doesn't play as well for left field because it's just pitcher friendly over there. And then as far as this game goes, the run total for the Twins, 3.5 only, -140 for the over, but 3.5 obviously not a great line when we're seeing 4.5, 5.5 lines elsewhere, and it's going to be 60 degrees, and the winds are going to be blowing in about 10 miles. So also have some pitcher-friendly weather just to make this a very good under total. It's only an 8-run total game. So I like this for an under, so those are going to be a 4. Bobby Witt's going to be my favorite. You don't have to stack. If you're choosing between Goldie or Arenado, I prefer Goldie just because he's the better hitter overall and right now. So Goldie, Arenado, and then Polanco's under 7. So those are going to be the 4 picks for this Saturday. Remember, there are early games because it is the weekend. Cardinals are the first game to start at 11:15 a.m. Pacific time, so make sure you do get those in on time if you're watching this video later. And as always, I do drop these plays ahead of time for the DFS Army members because they're sub, right? They're paying, so they deserve to get these plays in before the bump. If you guys want to avoid these bumps, avoid these props from being taken off the board completely, make sure that you do check us out. If you're new to Prizepicks, link in the description. You can actually get a free DFS Army membership sub if you are new by depositing, following the instructions on our site. So yeah, that is going to be it for this video. Hopefully we can go 4-0. We've had some bad luck with injuries and random scratches. So hopefully this is going to be a day where we do get it right. So thank you guys again, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.